There's some things in RuneScape 3 that every player or most players do, and it's not really talked about because it's just to be expected. What are these things? Well, in this video we are going to go through those and talk about the things that every RuneScape player does, and it's kind of just expected at this point. I'm almost certain everyone watching this will agree with at least half of what's in this video, so let me know in the comments if you do. Let me know if you don't, because you should be someone who is standing out from the crowd. But otherwise, let's talk about the things that every RuneScape player does. If you enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let's go. So like I say, this will apply to most people, and I'm sure there'll be something in here that all of you can relate to. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is when you're doing PVM and you finally get a drop, no matter what, whether your aura's just ended, whether your instance has just ended, or whether you were planning on teleporting out after that anyway, you always have to go for a back-to-back drop. And not only do you have to go for the back-to-back drop, you have to call that you're going to get a back-to-back drop, probably mention it in your clan, probably mention it to anyone who said grats on the first drop, and you have to make sure that it's clear that you are going for a back-to-back drop. Everybody does this. This happens all the time. You'll have someone in the clan, they'll get like an Eldritch crossbow piece, and they'll be like, oh, awesome, last kill of the hour. Well, I guess I'm going back for a back-to-back. Whether it's auraless or not, you gotta try for that back-to-back piece. I do this all the time, and not only that, if you're in an instance, for example, and you're only halfway through, you would have already been going back anyway, so instead this time, what you do is you will call out what the back-to-back drop is going to be, or you will just say, we're definitely getting back-to-back this time, 100% back-to-back. And this is just something that's happened for God knows how long now. It just happens all the time, and it's to be expected. If it doesn't happen when you get a drop and you go back, if no one says back-to-back, then you're not playing RuneScape, because trust me, this is definitely something that is just built in for us to say and do every single time we get a drop and we go back to the same boss. Moving on from calling the back-to-back drop or just always going for the back-to-back attempt, the next thing that happens all the time is if you're in a group with someone or even in a duo or anything like that, whenever you are PVMing, you will always call a drop every few kills. Someone will, either yourself or the person you're playing with will be calling drops every few kills, and then when you get that drop, you'll go, holy crap, I called it. No way, what the hell? I actually called the drop. What the frick? How did you know it was going to happen? And you don't even think about the fact that I've been calling this drop like every other kill or every 3 kills throughout this whole entire hour. So there's a good chance that I'm going to call it. No, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter because you just called a freaking Torva plate body and Nex after like 10 hours of calling one every 3 hours, you know? But everyone does this, even if it is just to add a little bit of fun to the conversation while you're PVMing, or a little bit of excitement of, can I get it right? But then as soon as you get that drop, it's almost like you forgot that you've been calling more often than not. And so when you do finally call it, it shouldn't be too much of a surprise, but it is, because you're just excited that you got the drop and you just forget about the fact that, you know what, I've called this every kill, but I just got it right. Holy hell. I'm pretty sure this will probably be one of the most relatable ones on this list. This next one is for the PVMers out there, and I'm pretty sure it will apply to the majority of you guys, because this happens to most people at some point, and it happens to me even today, and it's just something that is a little bit confusing. Now, what is it? Basically, well, you'll see someone who has the exact same gear as you, the exact same setup, you have the same abilities, you have the same curses, you have the same familiar, and it doesn't really matter what skill level you are for this, because at some point there's going to be someone who is better than you, unless you are the top recognized player for DPS in the game. But you'll probably think at some point, how does this person do more DPS than me with the exact same gear as me? It doesn't make sense. Why does this happen? It's so annoying. And I get it as well. There's people that I like PVM with, and they do way more DPS than me. And obviously, I kind of have an idea of why that is. But they will do way more DPS than me, and I'm like, but we're exactly the same. We have the same gear, we have the same perks, we have the same weapons, we have the same prayers. Everything's the same, except you're just pressing buttons obviously in a better way than me, and you're just doing a lot more damage. Please explain. Please explain this. It happens. And even though you know really the reasoning is like they just use their abilities better than you, they maybe got lucky that kill with crits and stuff, or maybe you're just missing out on something, like some little thing. It's experience, it kills, it's being used to this the combat style that you're using, and being more comfortable with like ability rotations in specific places. Now, this is something that most people don't consider, and I get this question asked a absolute ton on stream as well. Like, why are you doing way more DPS than me? I have better gear, or we have the exact same gear, and I don't understand how you're doing all this like big damage. I don't usually get that many crits, or something like that. 9 times out of 10, there's usually like one thing that's different. For example, they may not have a grimoire like I do, or something along those sort of lines. They might be using Revolution and I'm using full manual, anything like that. But when it's in the exact same situation, this is a question that cannot be answered other than You probably just need a bit more experience and practice. I probably have 100 kills at a boss, you probably have 50, something along those sort of lines, but it will always be a question that is very confusing to a lot of people and to me. Why do you have more DPS than me? We have the same gear and everything with the same setup. It's just a crazy thing to think about. And that's just because skill takes like a big part of RuneScape 3. It really does. The combat in this game comes a lot down to skill rather than just gear. So, I mean, practice makes perfect, right? Keep practicing, guys. You will see improvements over time. So just keep going. The person you're looking at probably has more experience than you. So don't compare yourself in that way. Use them as a way to sort of aim as a target, like a goal. But don't look at them and think, oh, I'm terrible, I'm useless, I'm never going to be that good. Because keep trying and you will be. The next thing that everybody does is, I guarantee, you guys do this, 100%. If you don't, then it's kind of not a good thing that you don't. Basically, in a clan or in a friends chat or anything like that, just private friends list or anything, you will say grats instinctively if you see an announcement. If you see an announcement in the clan saying such and such has received a drop of, you will automatically be typing grats in that clan chat because it's just what you do. It doesn't matter what that drop is. You will see someone who gets like laceration boots from Raksha 3 times in a row, and your clan is spamming grats at them every single time. And then you get that one person who's gone grats, grats, grats way over the top and then gone, oh crap, I didn't even notice it was laceration boots. Rip, dude. Sorry about that. Better luck next time, because obviously laceration boots are kind of a fail drop rather than a good drop, because you could have got something good, but instead you got like 1 mil and it's a little bit sad. But either way, you can almost guarantee that whenever someone in your clan does get a drop, almost everybody in there is going to be spamming grats, even if they haven't fully read what they got yet, because it's just what you do. You see everybody else doing it, you see the announcement in that color, the specific color for it, and that's pretty much it. You just got to do it. You just got to get in there, and you got to tell everyone, grats for your drop, dude. I'm sorry that was only 500k, but grats. Next up, we have the Treasure Hunter. However, I'm not going to say that everybody uses Treasure Hunter, because obviously you get 2 free daily keys, or 1 if you're a free-to-play player. So yes, everybody will use Treasure Hunter. But what I am going to be saying is, everybody seems to pretty much agree that Treasure Hunter is bad for the game. Most people dislike Treasure Hunter as a whole, like the MTX side and stuff. Most people do dislike it. However, I know most people at the exact same time will absolutely love lamps and stars because it makes their game a little bit faster, a little bit easier. Bonus experience is great, especially when you're AFKing things like, I don't know, rune crafting or construction, things that are a little bit slow and boring and take ages, and having the bonus experience definitely makes life a bit easier on that. Then we have lamps as well. Most people, like I say, hate Treasure Hunter, but if you get yourself a giant lamp, or you get yourself plenty of like experienced lamps, and there's something you want to be able to use that on, I'm almost certain that most of you guys would not be complaining about this, because you know what? If there's a way to get the lamps but not have the Treasure Hunter, I'm sure you guys would absolutely go for it. So while Treasure Hunter is probably the main thing that does bring bonus experience and lamps and stars into the game, it doesn't seem to change the fact that most people will dislike Treasure Hunter, but you guys gotta love those stars. You gotta love those 75% off augment stars. You gotta love getting the freaking 5 times giant lamps or 5 times giant stars, so you can dump that into the skills you really don't want to do, get a big boost, and just makes your life a bit easier. I'm pretty sure a lot of people, just like myself as well, have probably spent GP or real money on bonds for keys, or if you just use the real money, just bought the keys directly from Jagex because there was something you didn't want to do skill wise, and so you just dumped money into it, bought some Treasure Hunter keys, spun that wheel, got yourself some bonus experience or some giant lamps or whatever, any sort of lamps whatsoever, and just boosted your way up. I know I bought my Hunter, my 99 Hunter, from around about, I think I want to say about 85 or something like that. I bought 99 Hunter by selling all of my gear off because I was so close to max. I sold pretty much all of my gear except some weapons maybe. Sold all of that, bought some bonds, turned them into Treasure Hunter keys when it was celebration lamps, and I just stood right at the Grand Exchange in Priv, just letting off these celebration lamps, and I went all the way from about 85-ish Hunter all the way to 99. So, you know, without that, I would have had to go and just AFK like turtles or something for hours on end, do like some sort of things with my protean traps, and I just could not be bothered doing that. So instead, it made more sense to me to just sell off my gear, buy the bonds, get the lamps that I wanted to get, and just get through it. So I love the lamps, hate the freaking Treasure Hunter. This next one may not be as common, but it will definitely happen to quite a few people, as I know it does, seeing as when I do it on stream all the time, people usually say something and say that they do it too. And this one is going to be stalling your adrenaline even though you have an adrenaline urn, or you have the relic that stops your adrenaline from draining even when out of combat from archaeology. So This is something that a lot of people do. You'll still check on your shield. You'll still use things like resonance or preparation to make sure you store your adrenaline, even though you have this stuff that does it for you. I do it all the time. Even though I have my adrenaline in on 1000% and I'm literally just going through a portal or something, I will still store my adrenaline out of force of habit, even though I'm looking at it going, is my urn working? Please be working. I kind of use the urn as a failsafe in case I mess up my adrenaline store. That seems to be how it goes, because I'm just so used to storing adrenaline. I use Surge, Devotion, Reflect, all this stuff just to keep my adrenaline high. And it's, as soon as I'm doing it, like while I'm doing it, I'm looking at this adrenaline urn like, I don't need to be doing this, but I can't help it. I just have to. People mention it on stream all the time, and then when I talk about it, other people are like, yep, I do that. It's so freaking frustrating, but I still got to do it. Just got to, just in case. What if it fails? What if the urn doesn't have as much charge as I think, even though I've checked it 3 times? What if for some crazy reason the relic doesn't work? You just got to do it. You've just got to do it. Let me know in the comments if you're one of these people, because I'd be interested in seeing how many people actually do this one. The final thing that everybody does is we all sit at the bank wondering what on earth we should be doing. We'll sit there thinking, right, we could do this, I could do that, I could go to Karapak, I could go to Zook, I could go and do some AFK skilling, and suddenly you realize it's been around about 30 minutes and you're still stood at the bank doing nothing. We've all heard the joke, I've got 99 in bank standing. We have all seen other people saying, I really need to go and do something, and we've all probably been in the situation where we've also been like, man, I've just been logged on for a couple of hours and done nothing because all I've done is stand at the bank doing nothing at all. Not even like freaking using any protein stuff or getting any XP in any way or doing any sort of crafting or money making stuff, whatever. Just stood doing absolutely nothing. I do this way more than I would like to admit. I'm pretty certain that I could probably have gotten so much more further on my account, more money, more experience, had I ever just done AFK stuff when I'm editing videos, recording this. Like heck, right now my account is stood at Ward's Retreat doing absolutely nothing while I'm recording this video. So that just shows a little bit of something, doesn't it? It could be doing anything. It could be AFKing farming, it could be doing AFK Vindicta, making me a bit of money, it could be doing so many things, but I just leave it. It's fine, guys. It's all good. But everyone does this, I'm pretty certain. At some point, someone's going to do this. If you haven't already done this, if you don't do it every day, trust me, you will. And it's just something every single player does. This is what I'm sure that every single player will have done or will do every now and again. And it's just unavoidable at this point, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, bank standing is going to be our last one, but also probably our most common one that there is. Anyway guys, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you are someone who does anything in here, leave a like on the video and let me know in the comments which one or which ones you do. And of course, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new around here as well. Anyway, thank you all so much to the channel members who support the channel. That bit extra each and every month is very much appreciated. If anyone else is interested in joining those channel members, there's a join button, but a subscribe button, so give it a click. You can get some perks, and it is always very much appreciated. Anyway guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one. See you later guys. Bye.